Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to sector number 2 of our MD-11 flight from Düsseldorf via Punta Cana to Puerto Plata and back home to Düsseldorf. Today we are going to fly the second sector, and this one will take us from Punta Cana to Puerto Plata, which is a 40-minute flight along the shore of the Dominican Republic. Let's go ahead and start having a look into our flight plan to see what we are going to be up to today. So starting right over here, we are going to leave Punta Cana along the shoreline all the way over to Puerto Plata. The significant weather chart is completely clear and the weather itself beautiful here in Punta. Over in Puerto Plata, 12085, 10 kilometers, scattered clouds in the forecast, so again beautiful weather conditions. Probably runway 08, which has the beautiful non-precision approach as well. Finally, moving up to the OFP, an on-time departure at 10:50 is going to result in an arrival a little bit too late. Flight level 240 is the planned cruising level, and then looking down into the fuel, 12.2 is the minimum takeoff fuel, plus taxi, so we can make it 13 tons, and then we should be absolutely good to go with that. So follow me inside, and then we can start getting our airplane ready. So we've flown the last sector from the captain's seat, so I suggest that today we are once again going to do a flight from the first officer's seat. Our cleaning is currently in progress. We do have a couple passengers who are going to fly on to Puerto Plata. We also have a couple passengers who are going to board here in Punta Cana, so that we will have a total of 105 passengers for this sector of the flight. But let's actually go ahead and start with the walk around, so do follow me outside for the outside check. Alrighty, so that's our beautiful MD-11 right over here. So let's go ahead and start the walk around at the nose landing gear, and over here we're making sure the airplane is in a good shape. We make sure that there are no damages to the gear, that there are no signs of a bird strike, that the actuators are looking good and not leaking, the lights are looking good and not leaking, and we can also have a quick look into the gear bay. From there we'll be moving on along the side of our aircraft. We got an AOA vane up here, which is in a good condition. Our air inlet's located over there. Then we got the pitot tubes in the front over here. And man, I just really have to say that from the sheer looks of it, the MD-11 in this livery really just gotta be one of my favorite liveries of all time. Especially on this particular aircraft. Such a beautiful plane. Moving along the side then, we got the TAT probe, another AOA vane over there that are looking good. And then moving back along the fuselage, we got our static ports over here for the alternate, and over here for the for this side of the port. Now, the engine is looking pretty good over here. Just look at the awesome textures, by the way. TFDI have really done a good job on that. Engine ice detector located over here in the engine inlet. Very quick look below the engine as well, no sign of damages. And then we can move along to the back of the engine, making sure that there is nothing abnormal there either. Be very careful that you don't touch that part of the engine, by the way. That is gonna be hot. So moving on along the wing, our leading edge is in a good shape. Then we got the green nav lights illuminated over here. The winglets looking good, and the white navigation lights are also illuminated. Aileron is currently hanging down, expected. The flaps and the flap fairings are all in a good shape, no sign of bird strike damage or anything. And then the landing gear itself seems to be looking good. A little bit of lag here, unfortunately. Alright, no sign of bird strikes, of damages or anything. So that is looking good. Well, let's continue further aft. We got the aft cargo compartment over here, which is looking good. And then one of the most amazing views in all of aviation, isn't it? I mean, what should I say? This is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Alright then. Let's check the stabilizer, which is in a good condition. And then we can move on further aft. APU outlet a little bit loud over here, unfortunately, but believe me, in those weather conditions you absolutely do want that APU running. And man, awesome model. When I think back to the first version of the MD-11 that was released by TFDI, this is a completely different aircraft now. They've really turned it into something completely different. I like that a lot. Alright, so we got the center gear, which is in a good shape. And then we can move on to the left main gear. Again, over here, we do check the same stuff that we checked on the other side. Also have a look at all the cables and everything running over here and the pipes to make sure that there is no hydraulic fluid leaking, no brake fluid leaking or anything the likes. Then we're moving along the trailing edge of the wing, once again checking for any signs of bird strike damage or anything. Well, this is all looking good. We got our nav lights back here, then we got the red nav lights in the front, and then we do have a look at the leading edge here. And finally that is going to bring us back to the number 1 engine. So quick check in the inside, making sure that there's nothing visible over there. Quick check from the bottom, making sure we didn't have a pot strike. And then going back up to the front and the inlet. And over here everything is fantastic as well. Okay, so leading edge is looking good. And finally over here we do have another couple of static ports to check, which are all looking good. And then our walk around is completed. So we can now head back into our MD-11 and get ourselves ready for today's flight. Well, for today's second flight, because this would still be the same crew that flew the aircraft here from Düsseldorf. We've already done a 10-hour flight, and we are going to do another 40 minutes over here. And then we can go to the hotel in Puerto Plata. And, well, then let's go. So, quite a bit more quiet in here. I like that. And then we get up to the front. Now, this should be us over here. Now, when the sim does this and puts the model of the pilot in the wrong place, just switch the views over here. And when you're back, you can see now we got the captain's avatar in there. And we are sitting right back on our seat, just like we should. Okay, perfect. So with that done, let's move right down into the electronic flight bag. Over here we can do a little bit of a payload setting, but let's start by importing this flight plan from Punta Cana to Puerto Plata. So off block is at 2050, so that's in 28 minutes, so we do have a little bit of time available, luckily. So set payload and fuel please, and going over there, let's just go back for a moment. So we should have 105 passengers of 79 kilos, I don't care. Cargo weight, let's say, well, they all have 20 kilo suitcases, plus a bit more, some sports equipment and stuff, so 3,500. And for the fuel quantity, we are going to carry 13 tons. Like that. Alright, set payload. Refueling is complete, and then we can turn the fasten seatbelts on. And make a quick PA. Der Tankvorgang ist beendet. Refueling is complete. Alright, so with that stuff done, let's check what GSX is doing. The cleaning service should be finished by now, so let's go ahead and request boarding. Now, before anything else, let's just turn those IRSs off and back on again, just so that we can do a quick alignment process here. Should probably have done that before we went out for the walk around, but quick align just takes a few minutes, so that stuff is going fairly quickly. Alright, on battery messages are on. Probably shouldn't be on for too long, so yep, here we go. They're going out again. Alright, position, let's see if we need to re-enter that or if it still knows it. No, we still need to re-enter it. That's fine with me, though. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and start our setup. Send flight plan to FMC, please. We don't need to do all the basic checks again that we've already done earlier, so let's just do a quick flight deck inspection here. IRSs are on. Up there, everything's looking good. Ignition is off. We don't need to do any of the system tests, so all that stuff is looking good. Then we can go on to the right-hand side. Over here, again, no tests required, but with refueling completed, reset the fuel used. And then moving down to the main panel, again, we can just leave the EFIS as it is. We will do the FCP later, and this side can stay as it is. We don't need to do another oxygen test, because again, same stuff down here as well. auto brake into takeoff, and then this time we want to transmit from this side, please. So, TCAS back into above, and you should still be uncalibrated with a couple degrees up. Alright, and then we can move down into the FMS for our preparation. So let's get the SimBrief flight plan up here. And here we go. Alright, so Punta Cana to Puerto Plata, alternate is going to be Punta Cana once again. Our flight number is still LTU 440. Like that, cruise level 240. So, for our en route stuff, let's see, minus 18 degrees. And the wind component is an average 3 knots headwind. Like that, and yep, sensor fail is noted. Alright, and our cost index is 20. We'll probably fly a little bit faster though, just to be on time. Alright, so let's go. Flight plan, Punta Cana, sit, runway 08, and we got the Pixar 2 Whiskey departure, which is this one. Alright, insert, and then MDPP, star. It's going to be an ANAF approach over there. I think the ANAF Zulu is the standard approach. Coming in via the Pocac to Sierra arrival. Like that, and the minimum profile altitude is once again going to be 500 feet for this one. Alright, insert, and then let's return to the lateral revision and have a look at all the stuff that we have just entered. Again, I will be using the Navigraph chart app over here, because that way we can have the charts on the same screen as the FMS and the nav display, which is just that little bit more useful if you ask me, than, you know, having to all the time move to the side to look at the EFB. Okay, so let's see, Punta Cana, sit, ANAF departures runway 8, pin. Here we go, Pixar to Whiskey. With a plan mode, please. And then we are flying initially straight out to Texas, then a left turn, Papa Charlie 101 below 5,000 feet. Papa Charlie 115 below 6,000 feet, that's looking good. And then we continue towards Pixar between levels 170 and 230. And then we move on to Pocac. Now, what have I done here? Didn't I enter an arrival? Am I stupid? ANA Zulu 08, I've seen that. Pocac to Sierra, I've seen that too. And 500 feet. Oh, so I needed to press insert twice, okay. Well, so be it. So this is what it looks like. So yeah, I do suppose that works. Even though I have to admit it does look interesting. But okay, so be it, for the time being. Cool, so that stuff is in, then let's go for the reference here and insert the engine outfix, which is going to be Punta Cana X2, well, X1 actually. And that's based on MDPC. Wrong country. Got to be very careful with what we are entering here. Someone might take inspiration of it. Okay, 086 is the initial track. And 25 miles straight ahead. So, PBD point entered, onto the reference. Well, onto the fix, and down here we got PUI X1. Entered, secondary flight plan, MDPC/MDPC. Okay, and into the flight plan, then we are departing Punta Cana's runway 8 in here, insert that, then we got the PUI X1. On database. Here we go, that's better. And that thing may include a holding as well. Like that, insert, and then we can return to the secondary and enter an immediate re-landing, which is going to be an ANAF approach to runway 08, minimum profile altitude again 500, like that, insert, insert, And here we go, that's our immediate return programmed. Alright then, so that's our FMS setup completed. So over here, back to the map, and with the active flight plan, please. Alright, cool. So everything is set. Now let's see how the boarding is going. Didn't we request it? I'm sure we did. Well, then it's probably complete already. We'll just pretend it is. Alright, so let's say hello to our guests one more time. Liebe Fluggäste, einen wunderschönen guten Nachmittag aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel Hagen und ich darf all diejenigen, die neu zugestiegen sind, ganz herzlich an Bord unserer MD-11 auf unserem Flug über Puerto Plata nach Düsseldorf willkommen heißen. Machen Sie es sich bei uns an Bord bequem. Wir werden in wenigen Minuten loslegen und die Triebwerke anlassen und melden uns dann bei Ihnen im Anflug mit dem neuesten Wetter. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Noch einmal herzlich willkommen an Bord. Und natürlich dürfen wir auch diejenigen, die noch von der Ankunft aus Düsseldorf hier sitzen, noch einmal herzlich willkommen heißen. Wir werden dann in Kürze losfliegen mit einer Flugzeit von ca. 40 Minuten. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of LTU, welcome on board our MD-11 to all of those passengers who have joined us here in Punta Cana for our flight via Puerto Plata to Düsseldorf. Today's flight time to Puerto Plata about 40 to 45 minutes, and then later on another crew is going to take the airplane over for the flight back to Düsseldorf. So from my side, once again, welcome on board, sit back, relax and enjoy the flight with us. If there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Thank you very much for your attention. We are now finishing up the last paperwork, and once that is done, we'll prepare our airplane for the engine start for a way over along the coast to Puerto Plata. Thank you for your attention. Alright, passengers are dealt with, then let's go ahead and grab the ATIS and then we can get the IFR clearance, please. No, that's actually not correct. Let's see. Punta Cana 13285, is that right? Yes, it is. So 3285.
At 2200 feet. Temperature 29er. Dew point 22. QNH 1014. Transition level 180. Radar coverage is currently reduced in the North Ramp area. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information India. Punta Cana International Airport. Information India.
Alright, information India is on board, and then delivery is going to be on 121.65. Punta Cana clearance, LTU 440, information India, request IFR clearance to Puerto Plata.
Clearance on request, stand by.
So 086 5000, that's looking good.
LTU 440, cleared to Puerto Plata via the Pixie 2 Whiskey departure, then as filed. Departure runway 8, initial climb to flight level 060, departure on 119.75, squawk 1434.
LTU 440 is cleared to Puerto Plata via the Pixar 2 Whiskey departure, runway 08, climb flight level 60, departure 119.75, squawk 1434. Alright, runway 08, Pixar 2 Whiskey, 60, 119.75.
Correct. Ground is on 121.9er, safe flight, sir.
121.9er, LTU 440. Like that. Alright, 119.75 you said for the departure, and the squawk 1434. And the right transponder since we're operating from the right seat.
Can you repeat that?
No, I can't. Okay, so far so good. Clearance is confirmed. Then let's go over the performance, please. So, zero fuel weight 140.6.
This is Mara Meyer, your purser, along with Captain Emmanuel and First Officer Stephanie. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you.
Okay, block fuel 13 is correct. Then we can accept.
Thank you for choosing LTU International, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
She sounds a little bit tired. I mean, I would be too. At this point, we are working for 13 hours and longer already, so I would probably be a little bit tired as well here. Alright, cool. So that stuff is done. Then we've got our weights in here, so let's go for our takeoff performance. So, performance, Punta Cana, runway 8, get weather, get weights, packs off is okay, and calculate. Flex 59, 10 degrees flaps. So, flex 59, packs off, flaps 10. Then, the runway has a slope of minus 0.1% and 6 knots headwind. So, minus 0.1/6 head. Why is that wrong? Minus 0.1/head 6. Or can I just do minus 0.1/6? Yep, that works. Good. And the outside temperature 29 degrees Celsius. Like this. Alright, noise abatement procedure number 2. So we are going to use 1001. Okay, you're annoying. 1000. Into the climb thrust. Out of range, why is that? Alright, then we'll just use 1500 then. Like that. Alright, cool, and our speed's 37, 37.50. And those are looking good. Alright, lovely. So that's all that stuff set. For the takeoff we got flex thrust set, that's looking fantastic. Alright, then everything is done, so let's go ahead and do the cockpit checklist, please. Gear pins removed, pitot-static checked, cabin signs on, FCP set, speed band, taxi 0, altimeters, QNH 3001 reading 130 set left and right. Fuel, 13 tons. System display status checked. System modes, auto. Takeoff data inserted. Auto brake, RTO. Takeoff warning checked. Flap takeoff selector. 10. Cockpit checklist complete. Okay, cool. Then we can call for a pushback clearance. Punta Cana ground, LTU 440. Request pushback and startup.
Pushback and startup approved. Face west.
Pushback and startup approved, facing west, LTU 440. Okay, facing west is to the right. Here we go. Facing west in Alpha. B for start checklist. Cabin secured, mobile off, engine ignition A, beacon on, system modes set, and park and brake is released. And that's the before start checklist complete. Okay, ground, so the chocks can be removed, and then we are ready to push. We're ready for engine start. Sequence will be 312. And we'll commence engine 3 start now. Clear 3. Engine 3 start. So that seems to work just about with that American. They're turning us rather early over here. I do know why.
And cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard LTU International Flight 440,
Okay, so
departing from Punta Cana
fuel on.
International Airport to Gregorio Luperon International Airport.
EGT.
Our estimated flight time is approximately 45 minutes.
Why is the
Please
captain
pay
gone
close
again?
attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information even for our frequent flyers.
There he's back.
To fasten your seatbelt,
Little simulator
insert
bug.
the metal tip into the
Nothing
buckle until
TFDI
you
can do
click.
anything about. That's
To
the sim
adjust, pull the
itself.
strap. To unfasten, lift the buckle.
Alright, start a
Remember,
cutout.
your
Monitor
seatbelt
3,
must be
starting
fastened
1.
whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated.
Engine 1 start.
Please return your seatbacks and tray tables to the upright position, and ensure your window blinds are opened for takeoff and landing. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Laptops or larger devices should be securely stowed during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited
Fuel on,
anywhere on board,
EGT.
including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. To use, pull the mask firmly towards you, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. Life vests are located under your seat or between the seats. To put it on, pull it over your head, fasten it and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Special
Start a
light vests
cutout.
of children
Monitor
are
1, starting 2.
Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest
And the
exit,
pushback is
which
completed.
clearly
Set park and brake,
marked.
please.
We have 2 exits at the front and 2 at the rear of the aircraft.
Park and brake
The
set.
nearest exit may be behind you. In case of evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow all safety instructions from the crew immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or shows signs of damage, please inform
Fuel
the crew
on,
member right
EGT.
away. The safety information card in your seat pocket contains all details. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
Looks so strange with no N1 indication yet. I really wonder if that is normal or not. Okay, start a cutout, monitor 2. And in the meantime, ground flight deck, we've got 3 good engine starts, you're clear to disconnect. Please prepare the upland for taxi. I see you on the left hand side with a pin, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Alright, so there's the very interesting moving tuck. Then we've got the ramp agent, and she's holding a pin. Yuri. And I do not mean the lady. Okay then. Clear signal received. After start checklist. APU off, anti-ice off, system modes auto. After start checklist complete. LTU 440 request taxi.
LTU 440, runway 8, taxi via Delta, Echo Juliet.
Taxi runway 8 via Delta Echo Juliet, LTU 440. Alright, Delta Echo Juliet, runway 8. Clear on the left side, clear on the right side. And ready to go. Park and brake released. Taxi. We're at pretty lightweight right now. Not many passengers, and even less fuel.
1463 ready for push. United 1463, pushback approved. United 1463.
I think, seeing the double aircraft over here, that my FS traffic is back on. Remove that, please. Thank you. That way we only have the aircraft that are supposed to be here by Sane Tensions AI. Alright, then we are going to taxi the plane out of this apron, and once we're out we can do the taxi procedures. So Delta is straight ahead and then half right to get away from the I Love Punta Cana sign, which by the way is really neat one, isn't it? How they use those palms instead of the typical heart. I don't know, it's creative, I like it.
American 27990, contact tower on 118.8.
Tower, American 27990.
Okay, the right side is clear.
United 1463, ready to taxi.
United 1463, runway 9er taxi via Echo 2. Echo.
Runway 9er taxi via Echo 2, Echo United 1463.
Alright. Flaps 10. Trim is gonna be 5.5 units. Flight controls. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. And the rudder works. If I test it to its fullest, we're gonna be in that jetway over there, which is not where I wanna go. So I suppose we are fine with this. Great, so to review the takeoff briefing, it's going to be a left seat takeoff, runway, actually a right seat takeoff, runway 08, flaps 10, noise abatement procedure 2, and the takeoff speeds for this one are going to be 137, 137, 150. We've got no speed restriction on the SID, so we can clean up completely, and in fact the clean speed is only 210 knots, so that's also easy going. One thing I do want to remember after takeoff is to switch to derated climb thrust 2 pretty quickly, otherwise we are just going to skyrocket up through the initial climb clearance of 6,000 feet. Do note 6,000, so we are going to use level change instead of profile mode for the takeoff, and nav mode can be used and is armed. Alright, and for any emergencies we go straight ahead to the Punta Cana X3 point, climbing 3000, which is also at the MSA. Any questions? No? Beautiful. LTU 440, request crossing runway 9. Officially, it's not active in the real world.
Request runway crossing by stating your position and intention to cross runway 9er.
What? LTU 440, we are holding short runway 9er in Echo. Request crossing runway 9. In the real world, it's not active and we could just have crossed it. However, in the simulator, since we literally just landed on it, we know that it is active by saying
LTU 440, cross runway 09er.
Crossing runway 09, LTU 440. Alright. High intensity lights on. Left is clear as far as we can see. Right is clear for sure. So, tower on 18.8 is gonna be next.
American 3206, ready to taxi.
Okay, Juliet is the first of the two taxiways, and then we are at
American
the runway.
3206, runway 9er taxi via Echo 2. Echo.
Runway 9er taxi via Echo 2, Echo American 3206.
So, here's Juliet.
Orange 48 Lima, cleared for push and start.
Roger, pushback approved. Orange 48 Lima.
United 1463, contact tower on 118.8.
United 1463.
LTU 440, contact tower on 118.8. Bye bye.
118.8, LTU 440, bye bye. Punta Cana Tower, LTU 440 Heavy, ready for departure.
LTU 440 Heavy. Punta Cana Tower, runway 08, wind 110 at 8, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 08, cleared for takeoff, LTU 440 Heavy. So, transponder, weather radar, cabin crew, prepare for departure. Okay. Takeoff checklist. Flight controls, checked. Flaps, 10. Spoilers, armed, trim, 5.5. EAD, checked. Takeoff checklist complete. So, left and right are clear. Ready for rolling takeoff? Timing. Stabilized. Auto flight. 80 knots. Checked. V1 rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. So 20 degrees is nicely gonna do. Lovely rated climb here. Yoke to departure, LTU 440. Okay, flaps retract. Punta Cana departure, LTU 440 heavy, passing 3000, climbing 6000. And slats retract. Yeah, that's what we're on.
LTU 440 heavy, Punta Cana departure, radar contact. Climb via the stage to flight level 230, turn left, heading 010, vectors to Papa Charlie 101. Then on course.
Climb via the SID, flight level 210, LTU 440 heavy. Okay, this time it's via SID, so profile is on. And set vertical speed 1000. Interesting, that actually doesn't really work, does it? At least it doesn't level off in 5000 now. Okay, so... whatever. Okay, 5000 is set. Okay, hold 5000. And here we go. Up and level. Those lights can already go off. And I could absolutely get used to that view. Beautiful beaches everywhere here. 124.3, LTU 440.
United 1463, radar contact, climb and maintain 11 1000. 11 1000, United 1463.
Santo Domingo Center, LTU 440 heavy, climbing via the SIDS, flight level 210. Alright, 6000 set, and vertical speeds.
LTU 440, Santo Domingo Center identified. Good afternoon, Punta Cana, QNH 1013.
QNH 1013. LTU 440. Alright, so yeah, in that case, just set standard, huh? And cross-check, passing 5.5. Now, checked. So, once passing waypoint 115, there is no further restriction. Then we can continue the climb to flight level 210 as cleared by ATC. Here we go. So, climb thrust 210. And please give me climb 2. It's still giving us 6,000 feet a minute, huh? Such an incredible airplane. I mean, most white bodies would do that. But, incredible airplane. Ooh, interesting. What's the pitch doing here? Alright, this is looking better. Passing 10,000. Let's start accelerating. In the meantime, lights off please. We are going to keep the seatbelts on for as long as we are flying manually.
You may use approved electronic devices in flight mode. Cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for your attention.
And here we go, approaching 300 knots. Let's start pitching up. Ooh, interesting. Did you see how I was slowly pulling the control column off? And then suddenly the airplane jerked up? Something doesn't feel 100% right there. Alright, for now, autopilot. This should be autopilot 2 and nav 2. And here we go. Alright then, so now that we are on autopilot, well, the pitch is still incredibly high, but that's not really going to come down now. So let's release the passengers. And last but not least, the auto brakes should also go off. Flap takeoff selector into 15. And that's it for the time being. Optimum level 425. Yeah, we are not going to go that high, but you get the general idea. Lovely 4,000 feet a minute rate of climb. Beautiful. Lovely beaches down there. That's what we are looking for. Let's see, can we see anything properly out of the flight deck? Not really. But the one thing that I do see is that the pilot model has once again shifted. And this is annoying. They can do better than that. And again, to clarify, that is Asobo who can do better, not TFDI or something. They're just using the standard avatar there, and Asobo is screwing those over. Alright, approaching. Vertical speeds. That's the 3-to-1 rule in action now. We got 3,000 feet to go, so we don't want to do more than 3,000 feet a minute. Let's see how long the cruise is going to be. Oh, quite a bit actually, 100 miles. I like that. Alright, 2,000 to go. Those 100 miles mean that we don't need to rush, and I like that. Normally those short flights are always a little bit of a mess. Well, not a mess, but a lot of work that you have to do. So it's very nice to see that for once we can actually just sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Alright, approaching 1,000 to go. Here we go, vertical speed. Now, we said we wanted to make up a little bit of time here. Let's see if there's anything we can do, like maybe direct POCAC? LTU 440, any chance to proceed direct POCAC?
Clear direct POCAC.
Clear direct POCAC, LTU 440, thank you. Alright, we'll take a beam points. And here we go. So, top of descent in about 100 miles. LTU 440 is flight level 240 available.
LTU 440, flight level 240 approved, climb.
Climbing flight level 240, LTU 440. Alright. vertical speeds to 4000 magenta. Okay, excellent. So it cleared all the way up. Then let's see if we can already find some approach charts there. MDPP. Puerto Plata. RNAV arrival is runway 8. That's probably what we will be looking for. And yeah, coming in from Pokak, maximum 250. I will probably clear that. And then into the downwind and across the mountains towards MVO. And then eventually onto the RNAV Zulu approach runway 8 from Nivo. Okay, approaching. Checked. Minimum 660. Here we go, set. And about 1000 to go. Checked. So that traffic here shouldn't be any problem at all. And as we're about to level off, let's go TCAS below. All looking good. So, is there any ATIS available? Doesn't look like it. And of course not on the conventional chart either. Okay, then we have to ask ATC to confirm the weather. LTU 440, can you confirm the weather conditions at our destination airports? All 24,000 and in profile.
LTU 440, Puerto Plata, QNH 1012, surface temperature 28 degrees C, wind 280 at 8 knots, visibility 10 kilometers, no significant weather.
And please confirm the runway in use in Puerto Plata, LTU 440. So that may be runway 8 with a little bit of tailwind, but can't do much about it. Yeah, apart from that, QNH 1012 is copied.
We have now reached our cruise
I have
altitude,
increased our
and the
speed
cabin
slightly
crew
over
will
here.
get a snack and
Let's
beverages
just
shortly.
do that manually.
Should we try our delicious chicken salad or the
Actually,
popcorn
tell you what, give me
provided
300
with the
knots.
international menu. After the service, selected items from our onboard shop will be available for you to browse. Thank you for your attention.
FMS speed, and up we go, 300. Okay, cool. So it's runway 8 that's going to be in use. Then let's go ahead and start our setup on the descent forecast page. Need the flight plan, please. So, flight level 200/231 at 10. Flight level 150 offers 120 at 5. Flight level 100 offers 147 at 8. Alright, and on the ground they said 280 at 8. And a temperature of 28 degrees. Alright, insert all of that. For the approach page, flaps 35, 139 knots is looking excellent. MDPP, gonna go up here. 81 miles, that's okay. And, well, apart from that, we've pretty much done everything we needed down here. No RTA today. Okay, cool. So, we've set the minimum, 660. We've done all the FMS. So the only thing left that we gotta do is to check that our FMS arrival is actually correct. So let's go to plan mode down here. So, Puerto Plata. Runway 8. On off GNSS runway 8 as well. And the minimum charts are set. LTU 440, any chance to proceed direct Papa 371? Because that would save us quite a lot of time.
LTU 440, cleared direct Papa 371.
Thank you, direct Papa 371, LTU 440. Okay, that makes our life easy. Cool, so we got 371, maximum 220 and above 9,000. Which is checked. From there we are going to proceed via 314, maximum 210 above 70, towards MVO, maximum 210 and above 4,000. Then we join the RF approach runway 8 from MVO to waypoint 351, which we got here above 4,000, and then we continue towards Caslow. Caslow 3000 is the final approach fix, 3-degree glide, matches with the FMC. Then we got the runway itself, followed by go-around 355 as an overfly waypoint, which we got. Left turn 356, maximum 200, 357, and then back towards MEVO, climbing 4,000, which checks with the FMC. Okay, beautiful. Secondary flight plan, simply copy active, and that's it. Nice, then let's see about the runway itself. 3,800 meters long, however vacating at Bravo would be nice, so let's go ahead and see what our landing performance tool is going to say. Performance, Puerto Plata 08, get the weather, get the weights, reversers all operational, calculate 1,700 meters with auto braking in. Okay, well that's easy. Flap takeoff selector 15 is set, and then we are basically done with our setup. Okay, nice. Are you ready for the approach briefing? So we're arriving in Puerto Plata on runway 08. The approach is going to be an ANAV GNSS Zulu approach. Minimum safe altitude exists and is up to 6,100 feet in the approach area, usually 4,600 feet. The approach itself is going to be down to a minimum of 660. The go-around left turn out, initially 200 knots, and then left back towards MVO, climbing 4,000. Extra fuel and time, let's see what the magic box says. An hour and 3, I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that. But it's probably going to be like 30 minutes or something the likes. Alright, and that's everything I have for this one. Okay, thank you. So we are going to fly a flight director guided ANAV approach using profile mode for our descent. FCP altitude down to 500, well to 700 feet, which is the minimum down here. And for the go-around, we've got all the standard stuff available. For landing, it's flaps 35, maximum reverse, auto brake minimum, vacate the runway to the right-hand side, and then taxi straight to the apron. I've got nothing special, I've got nothing non-standard, and for the threats, I have the high terrain in the area that we should take into consideration. So, since weather is probably not going to be a threat, I will switch over to the terrain display on my side to mitigate against that, and the other threat we have is the QNH blunder error, so we verify our QNH once again by either approach or tower, depending on where we are when we are approaching the final approach fix. Nothing miscellaneous over here, and that's it. Any questions or suggestions? No? Beautiful, so that's our briefing completed. LTU 440, ready for descent.
LTU 440, cross Papa 371 at or above flight level 090.
Cross Papa 371 at or above flight level 090, LTU 440. Alright, profile to 9,000 out. Then I'm off ATC. Liebe Gäste aus dem Cockpit, Ihr Co-Pilot mit einem kleinen Update. Wir werden in Kürze den Sinkflug in Richtung Puerto Plata beginnen. Die verbleibende Flugzeit jetzt noch circa 15 bis 20 Minuten. Das Wetter in Puerto Plata ist sehr schön. bei einer ganz leichten Bewölkung und einer Temperatur von 28 Grad. Wir bedanken uns herzlich, dass Sie heute LTU geflogen sind, hoffen, dass Sie Ihren Aufenthalt bei uns an Bord genossen haben, wünschen Ihnen einen schönen Urlaub, eine gute und sichere Weiterreise und würden uns freuen, Sie bald wieder an Bord begrüßen zu dürfen. Alright, and if the flight attendants have to talk over me, then so be it. For the descent, 300 knots, please.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Alright, MMO 300, here we go. Looking good. Alright, lovely. Then we are done with all the approach preparation. We are now nicely descending towards Puerto Plata. And I think we can slowly start seeing the area come into view. I think the airport's somewhere down there. Down there. Well, not quite close enough for a visual approach yet, but we are getting there, slowly but steadily. Visual approach would be a nice topic, but the ANAF over here is so spectacular that I really do want to fly it. So, for that reason, no visual approach today. Alright, so yeah, we've done about everything. Since we are flying short haul, we are going to do the seatbelts at 15 minutes or 15,000 feet, whichever is earlier. Estimated landing time is at 26, so that's in 15 minutes. And the seatbelts are coming on. As you can see, depending on the speed that you're flying, 15 minutes may be well ahead of 15,000. Always depends a little bit. But yeah, today it's easy. Today it's very easy. The sun is slowly coming down. I think it's a good moment to just start turning a couple of lights on. Like that. Alright, so I'm really looking forward to getting to the bar over in Puerto Plata when we get to the crew hotel. Because this is the type of day where you, well, just have a really, really long working day. I mean, we left Düsseldorf at 9:35 UTC. That meant starting the duty about 90 minutes earlier, so 08:05 UTC, which probably meant getting up 2 hours earlier, so at 7 AM local time. And now it's already close to 10:15 PM. And by the time we're in the hotel, I'm sure that's going to be an hour and a half minimum, probably more like 2 hours from now. Then just go to the bar, have a nice cool drink, and then it's already time to go to sleep. The good news is that we're only doing this flight like... I'm just trying to remember the schedule. I think Puerto Plata was twice weekly, so luckily it's going to be a long layover, like 3 days. And let's admit it, that's the reason why we became long-haul pilots, isn't it? Like 3 days in the Caribbean, in the middle of the winter.
LTU 440, contact Cibao approach on 119.0.
119.0, LTU 440. Cibao approach, LTU 440 heavy, passing 146, descending flight level 90.
Heavy, Cibao approach identified. Good evening, clear for the RNAV Victor runway 8 approach into Puerto Plata.
Clear for the RNAV approach runway 08 into Puerto Plata, LTU 440. Okay, nice. That's about as easy as it gets. LTU 440, please confirm the QNH.
QNH 1012, QFE minus 2904.
QNH 1012, LTU 440. Should have been inches, so, well, standard minus 3. So that's gonna be 2989. Like that. Okay, QNH is cross-checked and we are passing on 2,840 now. Checked, checked. Beautiful. So the airplane starts reducing towards 220 knots, which we got because of the speed restriction at waypoint 371, and from there we are basically joining the downwind for the approach. I like it. What do we have here? Traffic in front of us, like 6 or 7 miles. Well, as long as he catches the exit, that's not going to be a problem. But I think it's a good thing that we are slowing down now. ATC hasn't said anything, so it's probably not going to be too much of a problem, but better safe than sorry, huh? Okay. So, enough of slowing down. What is VNAV doing here? 1.5 miles to run, and it's still on the 1 degree descent angle that you would normally see for the deceleration segment. But the engines are already running up high. Probably not supposed to do that. Alright, here we go. The traffic is now 5 miles ahead. LTU 440, what is the speed of the aircraft flying ahead of us?
LTU 440, heavy, no traffic speed info available.
Okay. Oh well, he's already turning elsewhere. That's good. That one seems to be on our approach though. Alright, 7,000 is the next altitude. He did already say cleared for the approach, so let's put that thing down. 7,000, here we go. We got, there's the there's the sun. Hey, where's my... Why did the sunshade go away? What is it doing? Oh, there it is now. Interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now
okay, well, we are gonna leave it over here.
Plata. Please turn off all
so, going through 10,000?
Stow them until we arrive at the gate. Kindly put your tray tables away and ensure your seats are in the full
lights are on,
position
seatbelts
your
are on,
fastened.
and all the rest.
The weather
is
at our
gone.
destination is quite pleasant with a temperature of 29 degrees Celsius. Our assigned gate
And
is
there's the airport.
A5. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your...
And those mountains are exactly the reason why I wanted to fly this approach. And somewhere down there is going to be the crew hotel. Definitely looking forward to that.
LTU 440, contact Puerto Plata Tower on 118.0 when established.
118.0 when established, LTU 440. Here we go, 18.0. Alright, so passing the 7,000 feet waypoint, next up is going to be 4,000. Here we go. And those 4,000 are already final for a Vivo. Until 351 over here. Okay, looking good. Approach checklist. System modes, auto, altimeters, QNH 29890. Approach checklist complete. Where is my captain? There he is. So don't you want that thing here as well? It's nicer, isn't it? He must have been in the back, checking which flight attendant to check out for the evening. Right, at drag, I honestly don't see that at the moment, but let's go flaps. Well, flaps extend. Speed checked. Flaps extended. Alright, couple of hills over here. As long as we're on the correct QNH, not going to be a problem though. And terrain on your side as well, please. We can't see any of the weather. So, scheduled on-block is 40, it's 20 now, so we're actually doing quite well here.
Altitude.
Checked. So, turning base after a Mevo. Couple of beautiful hills down there. Yeah, that's the view, isn't it? Alright everyone, be careful of German first officers. So, level in 4000, speed 210 knots, the wind is going to be a headwind on final, that's good. And then we're ready to turn. And our captain is gone again. There he is again. I think he's vanishing every time we go outside, so gotta be careful with that. But it's such a nice view. Ah well, here we are. Okay then, let's go down to 3000. Vertical alert. Flaps 15. Speed check, flaps 15. There's our field in sight. Let's see if we've got any troughing altitudes. Yes, we do. Good. So we're starting in Caslo in 3000 feet. Which we are about to reach. Alright, 700 feet. Profile mode is on. Alright, and we are passing Caslo at 210, a little bit on the fast side here. Let's start slowing down please, 180. Alright, so 9 miles from the runway 2940, 8 miles 2620. And reaching 8 miles 2620 on glides. So, gear down, flaps 28. Alright, manage speed. No, no 205. A little quick, don't you think? What's the final approach speed gonna be? 139. No, no 1000 here. Terrain or not. Alright, flaps 35, final checklist. Landing gear down for green, auto brakes low, spoilers armed, flaps 35, EAD checked, landing checklist complete. Alright, so we are now 5 miles out, should be in 1660. What the hell? Alright, that looks quite low as well. Manual flight. Right, set go around altitude 4000. The hell is VNAV doing? That thing almost flew us into the mountains. The MD-11 should be able of doing those VNAV approaches. No, don't accelerate. 139. God, for F's sake, what is it doing? Alright. All manual. Flight directors off. Alright, here we are, getting back into the poppies.
Approaching minimum.
Good speed.
Minimum.
Continue. Interesting turbulence here. Seems to periodically swing between a couple hundred feet a minute. No.
100. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Alright. Why did go auto brake disarm? Why is it adding thrust? What the? Manual brakes. Reverse. Alright. Sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes the sim is just interesting. Those weather conditions were... well, that VNAV was utter crap. But here we are. At least it looked interesting, didn't it? Okay. That looks like one of those
Ladies and
taxiways where you would
welcome to Gregorio
not be
Bell
100%
International
convinced
Airport.
on that your airplane
Did you know that
fits.
this beautiful city
Where you
is
just have to
known for
trust the
its
chart
stunning
that it
beaches
actually
and
does.
vibrant culture? Thank you for flying with LTU International. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of Captain Emmanuel, First Officer Stephanie, and the entire crew, we wish you a wonderful stay here. The local time is 5:27 p.m. If you have a connecting flight, please listen carefully. Flight LTU 523 to Frankfurt departs at 6:45 p.m. from Gate B2. And
All
flight
right.
LTU 630 to...
And we'll just shut all of that ATC stuff down for now. Because we just want to go to the gate. Alright, nice and slow, and then we can start cleaning up. Transponder, weather radar, flaps, spoilers, auto brake, trim 3 units. This time I'm not gonna forget it. Here we go, there's 3 units, lights, and starting APU. Okay, so our parking position is going to be on the left hand side over there. Let's see if we can find the number. Alpha 7. Then let's see if we can get some parking guidance. Alpha 7. No follow me needed. Alright, lights off. Come on, GSX, don't block my click spots. Okay, here we go. So, weather radar is off and lights are off. Good. Don't stop. So look at that, GSX tried to sell us the gate as a medium gate, and down here we have markings for everything up to a 747. And come on, you want to kiss the airplane? I mean, she's a nice airplane, and not exactly an ugly lady, but I'm going to stop her here. You aren't going to take my lady. Alright, park and brake set, APU is available and shut down. 1, 2, 3. Cabin crew, all doors in park. So here we go, GSX, and request deboarding please. Then the engines are running down, all below 20, the bacon goes off. Here we go, parking checklist please. Exterior lights, set, anti-ice, off, step trim, 3.1 units, system display status checked, system modes auto. Spoilers retracted, flaps and slats up retracted, fuel switches off, park and brake set, weather radar off, ATC transponder, 2000 standby, APU air, oh yeah, we definitely want that, on, parking checklist complete. Well then my friends, welcome to Puerto Plata. I do hope you enjoyed this one. As always, leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and then I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.